Guys, this is KOKOH from the Soho Sessions. We're gonna have this afternoon, we're gonna have Fabrizia Corsi. She's an Italian DJ. She's one of my best friends, and she was the one that makes season 6 possible. So I'm gonna be interviewing her on this new segment, 5 Minutes with the DJ, and I'm gonna try to invite her now. So give me just 1 second. And let's wait for her to join. So Fabrizia is from, I think it's from northern Italy. Hi Fabrizia, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good. Thank you. It's sunny, so I'm happy.
I
How are
know,
you?
we were in the garden the whole day, and I said, oh my God, I have the interview, I have to be there. So I just rushed
I was
upstairs.
thinking when you were sunbathing.
Yeah,
Look,
I finally get some color in my skin, so that is
I'm darker than
amazing.
you. I'm darker than you.
I know, but you attract the sun more than I
I
do. The sun for me
work
is like
hard for it.
repels.
I work hard.
Well, I saw you with your best today. Welcome to the 5 Minutes with the DJ. Uh, we're just gonna run through who you are and why you do what you do. It will be nice for our audience to get to know you. So the first question I have: what makes you be a DJ instead of a selector?
Ah, um, what's the difference? That's a tricky question. Um, it's kind of a selector used to be something in the past, and then DJing is kind of you're selecting the right music for the
Yeah,
crowd, but you are also sometimes creating something, not just selecting. So
exactly.
for me, it's like I'm a DJ because also sometimes I adapt my tracks and I don't play the whole thing. I select some parts, and perhaps I
Create the
sometimes,
ambience with
yeah,
the
you
different tracks. Yeah,
play a track and then a DJ doesn't wait for the track to finish unless you're sometime open format and blah blah blah, so you just press play. But I prepare the track so they enter at the right point, or I do my own mashups, do my own productions, so uh, it's more interactive with the music itself. A selector is a bit of a more a step back. Being a
yeah.
DJ, you are actually more active with the music.
Yeah, and I
That's
think that's
what I
something
think.
that is missing nowadays with the DJs. Is that I think what people don't understand is that you actually produce live when you're doing anything, and because as you mentioned, you set up when you want to start and how you want to mix it. So you're actually creating a new sound as you go. So I
Yeah.
think that's the important thing to highlight, especially when you're DJing in clubs. You know,
Sometimes you just create a new sound, but it's like the way you organize the music that makes a difference. Otherwise, you can just have a Spotify playlist
yeah,
and it wouldn't work. And then for
and
me, I
yeah.
like so much the live that I wanted to, been DJing for so long, and now it's so easy to DJ. You have all this time in between the tracks, and I decided to actually play drums so I can
Okay.
even make it more interactive and more engaging, I guess, with the crowd, and for me as well, because otherwise you have these 7 minutes
Yeah.
underground tracks. Yeah, it's great, but then either you're dancing like all the girls are doing now, they're getting like a big backlash because you look like stupid, or you're actually doing something like a DJ should.
Something
I'm not
artistic
gonna
rather
do
than
this. I'm not
well,
this kind of DJ that does this when I'm playing melodic techno and like,
I
yeah,
know. I
I'm flying while I'm DJing.
I think that's one of the things that I was speaking with Betsy Nina yesterday sorry, 2 days ago when I interviewed her, and then I said like some people believe that connecting with the people is to put on a show, and sometimes you just have to focus in the fact that you're mixing, so
Yeah.
you don't have time to start doing like stuff for people to see you. So yeah, that's completely right. But where are you exactly from? I would like always that question because you say Italian, but where from Italy you're from?
Yeah, I am an Italian in disguise, and I mean I'm Italian, but I live on the border with Slovenia, and like my origin is there. So I even did the DNA test recently. So it's pretty funny because I knew I was not Italian completely. So half of my, like, let's say I'm 40% Italian, and I tracked
Okay.
down where my surname come from is from Tuscany, so it's really old. And the rest 40 something percent is from Eastern Europe, all the way towards, all the way through from Slovenia, Hungary, Czech Republic. So it all matches. And then listen to this. I have 8% British. Where is that coming from?
Well, I can probably explain that. Probably you have the beat from the British because they're really, really mechanical. Then you have the artistry from the Italian. And then you have the percussion from Eastern Europe.
I think some of my grandmas didn't tell me the story correctly. That's what I think. You know, the Allies, they came for the war, and, you know, something might have happened. Like even great grandmothers, you know, grandfathers. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know. I don't know. That's, I
but
think it's more like it.
don't you think that your DNA actually defines what you DJ?
No, otherwise I would play half Balkan music and half tarantella, and that's definitely not what I like.
Well, well, will be very interesting to see you DJing that for sure. I would love to see
Well,
that.
I really like the Oriental, Arab, like Balkanic, Oriental Arabic influences, but obviously the traditional one is a little bit too much. You say, yeah,
Okay.
let's say popular music is not really going well in a DJ set like we
Yeah, well,
do. But
unless you're a performer, I suppose.
yeah,
But
yeah.
a quick question regarding that, and that's another point that I wanted to touch with you. Is like, how do you choose the genre you want to play? Because I've seen you in Cyberdog, and in Cyberdog, your set is really hardcore. And then you play in Hakkasan, and it's very chill. And then you play at the Soho Sessions, and it was really, percussion driven. So what makes you choose the genre that you're gonna play for each place? Because I know you're not an open format DJ, but you swap between genres as you change the event. So how you manage
The
to
thing is
define
that
that?
I like anything that is house related. So
Okay, so subgenres, I will
I
say then.
I love all the subgenres from house that can be more down tempo and more underground. So if someone asks me what is your style, it's really hard to define. I can tell you what I really like, but then during my set, sometimes I like to move from one style to another. And in Soho sessions or Cyberdog, I have a limited amount of time, so I focus more on delivering one style.
Mm.
But then still, even if I have to play 1 hour progressive or melodic techno, I will bring some house in there or something different to switch it up because of my personal, experience
Yeah, your
of
personality
what I like.
matches the genre.
Yeah,
Yeah, I found that.
I'm an open
Yeah.
format house DJ, let's say, in that sense.
Well, I suppose that melodic techno kind of like have the groove of progressive house somehow. So I think that it kind of relate. I will say. I think like we are becoming in a really great area with the genres. Not like in the 90s that if you play techno, you play techno. You play house, you play house. Um, well, then this brings to my next questions. Why did you say yes to the Soho sessions?
Because being a DJ, you might not realize it, but it's a very lonely job. I am there 5 hours during my residency. Sometimes I don't even talk to anyone except from the manager or the people working in the venue, and then I leave.
Yeah,
So there's no friends. But Soho
yeah,
Sessions is having a gig with friends.
yeah.
And that's what makes it special. It's such a nice environment where there's no competition. We're all like friends, and then we bring more friends in, and it's just a nice place to be. It reminds me more like of being back home, in environment when you pass by and, oh, hey, how are you? I've seen you there, here and there. It's all about the connections. So I like the intimacy of Soho sessions.
Yeah, and it's been quite a long journey, especially to choosing the right people for the right gigs and then creating the lineup. So I really like when you came and, I remember that you started the first set and it was really chill and I didn't have to tell you to do it that way because you hear it before, so that you did the research. And I found really special when DJs do that, like they research about the party before they go to play, because then they know what it's about. So that was very, very, very nice. Um, I would like to know, another thing is that you said that you were producing as well. So are we gonna hear anything in the future from yourself?
Yes, I am on it. It's a long process, but the drums kind of took me a little bit, because
Okay.
I really like the immediacy. Being a DJ, you are a live performance. You are with the people in front of you. When you're producing, you are alone and you take a step back from the music.
Yeah.
And with the drums, I kind of feel more connected. So they kind of moved me away for a little bit. So I'm enjoying it more, let's put it this way, at the moment. And I think it's something that is original and fun, and I can also integrate it in my production in the future, because the drum kit is essentially a drum machine that I could play the live drums and then record them in the tracks. So
yeah, and also give you the opportunity to play live, because sometimes I think that when we produce music on a live session, sorry, when we produce music non-live session, we tend to produce a lot, and then when you have to play it live, you just DJ, and people think that, well, that's not much work because you just put and play, but they don't see the amount of work that they have behind to create a
the
track.
amount
So
of
yeah,
work.
that's kind of like one of like the most difficult things to show. So I think that the drums give you that opportunity to play live and people see you doing something.
Yeah, because now everybody has these COVID DJs.
Yeah,
Think
everybody's a DJ now. But
everybody's like, oh, I think it's okay. I mean, I've used it when I had a 7 hours DJ set, and you get tired, and I don't need to demonstrate I know how to mix, because come
yeah,
on.
but the selection is something that no everybody can do.
Yeah,
Because I found people that they have no clue how to mix songs, and I'm not talking about beat sync or anything. I'm talking about music itself.
yeah,
They have no idea how one track connect to another.
yeah.
Yeah,
You just hear it sometimes. After a long time, if you're musically, I have musical training, but after a while, if you are a DJ, you don't get that song just doesn't go with the same tune, like it doesn't have the same key, and it crashes. And I just hear that the other day, someone, I was like, ugh. I mean, it just takes nothing. That's the whole point of having the headphones. It's not just about knowing what song is coming, it's knowing if it's gonna fit.
Yeah.
And producing, okay, it's something that takes a lot of time, but when we prepare for a gig, for Soho Sessions, I prepare for Cyberdog, even my branch today, I prepare the music. Like, I don't prepare the set, but I do a research, I analyze the music, I classify it, and then, there's a lot of work to be done before you're actually performing live.
Yes.
And that's what makes DJs, old school DJs, different, or new DJs that are willing to take it seriously.
Yes.
That makes a difference.
I do agree with that. And it's so powerful that you mentioned that. I actually struggle to enjoy a party nowadays when I go to a club. I found it extremely hard to even enjoy the mix, because I could, I might be dancing and then I hear tukum tukum, and it was like, when the horses walk, they feel like horses, and you're like, that was a horse, what he's doing. And then the song was minimal techno and they jumped to hard techno, and you're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? That doesn't even match.
Or they
So,
cut the song too short.
too short.
When you are like,
Or they put just the beginning, you know. It's I think if you cannot call yourself a DJ until you have experienced the failure of the
and
mix many times.
also we still fuck up the story.
Yeah,
Like
but
we still do
we
it.
have more
It's part
control.
of being live.
Yeah.
You know, it cannot be all perfect. We still like make mistakes, especially like we are social. We talk like sometimes you're talking with someone and you miss like you skip the right entry in the track because you are entertaining now. You're not just playing, and the people come here and talk to you, and you know, it's a bit
Well,
of
I
a
have a good memory
multitasking.
on that point. I have a very, very good memory with you. You were playing, I don't know if it was in Christmas in the at the mansion in London, and I remember that you needed to go to the loo, and I was in front of you, and I remember I'm never
I
gonna
just
forget
gave it the
this.
headphones,
And then
right?
you pulled me up and said like, DJ, and you run to the loo, and I have to come back. So when you came back, I was like, okay, what's this playing? And I have to put the headphones and search for anything that was behind. I think that's the most pressure I felt in my life on a gig, and it wasn't even mine.
But at least this time I picked a professional.
Yeah,
Sometimes I pick
yeah.
random people and like just let's go there, and they're like.
Well, you need to save the day, I suppose. So,
Sometimes I
but
enjoy for the pictures, and I'm quick. You know, you learn being a DJ makes you very skilled at being quick in the toilet.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you develop that incredible skill.
Yeah, no, I know that. Even though I don't drink any kind of liquid before I DJ.
Sometimes
Um,
I don't drink either because I want to go to the loo.
but yeah, when you have a gig of 5 or 7 hours, the last gig I did for 10 hours, it was here in London, and I decided that no, not for me. I would like to before we go, because you know it's 5 minutes, so we're already stand, and I love talking to you a lot. Um, what is your next project?
So my next project is to. I have my. I'll show you my next project. I talked about it before, but this is my new love.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my drum kit, and I want to really become decent because
Okay.
you know it's gonna take years of practice, and this is what I want to be. I want to be booked as a DJ percussionist,
Okay.
and it's just something. It kind of at some point I reached a plateau and you're mixing, and but this one that makes me more alive and more interested in DJing. It gave me back that buzz of like practicing at home. I don't
Yeah.
practice DJing at home because it's like you don't need that. But with this one, I get that back, and so this is definitely one of the projects. And also the other project is, of course, doing these productions that are. I'm a little bit behind because I am taking it really seriously, and I am
You want to make it
studying again.
perfect.
I'm like studying again the
Yeah.
process
Yeah.
to improve
But
my
remember
skills.
that perfection doesn't exist.
Oh no, of
And you
course.
always can make it better. So sometimes it's better just to reach a level and release because people is waiting for that. I'm waiting for that.
I have one that is probably the next one I should release because it's the right time. Is about cryptocurrency and is a funny story about cryptocurrency. It's just that I changed the baseline and I have to go back into it, and yeah, that's something that I really it needs to get released before it's too late because it's the hype of
I hope
Bitcoin.
so. I hope so. Time goes by. Well, I have to say goodbye now, but it was so great to talk to you again. And
Thank you so much
I'm
for
gonna see you
inviting.
next Thursday. Oh no, you shouldn't say that. No, actually the party's next Thursday.
I know.
But I remember something like, okay. But yeah, it was really nice to see you. Thank you so much for dedication the time
Thank
to
you
speak to
so
me.
much for
And
having me. Love
love
you.
you lots. Bye bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.